Hey there, Madison School. Mr. Segal here. I am the proud principal here for 4th and 5th grade. I'm so excited to be able to welcome you here to Madison this year. Wish we could do our back to school nights in person, but since that is not possible right now, I'm just going to take you through a quick virtual back to school night with all you need to know. If you have any questions, of course, contact our office. I'm available by email, phone. Would be more than happy to answer any questions that you have or any help that you need. So please, that's what I'm here for. If there's anything I can do to help you or your student get off to a great start this year, please don't hesitate to ask. So I'm just going to take you through a few things. The first one is for moms and dads. If you are coming here to drop off in the morning, if you're not familiar with patterns here at Madison Reagan, you will see a lane, as you can see there in the picture, marked car. It's going to be important that you watch where those are marked to not be in the bus lane. Two, a key thing that's going to do for you as well is be able to help you from getting stuck behind the stop arms of the bus. I know people need to get to work. They want to do that as efficiently as possible. So sometimes traffic can get backed up. But something unique here at Madison Reagan, if you do use the car lane, it takes you, as you go after you drop off, it takes you safely around the buses with distance between the bus and the stop arm to where you can go around and not get stuck behind the buses. So safety is our number one thing, but using that car lane will help you to do that as efficiently as possible. Okay. As you continue to head up our drive, the next thing you will see are angled spots along the fence next to the blacktop. And you'll see from the signage, those are just a loading zone, so it's 5 minutes only. That is the main place for pickup as well as drop off of students, so you can pull into those spots and then pull back out, and then again go safely around the buses, and then the students can walk into their designated door. All right, after students arrive and get dropped off in those angled spots, you're going to see next they're going to go to their designated doors. So you will see for door 16, that's around in back. That's the door our 4th grade students are going to head in. And door 21 is the door for our 5th graders. Something that's new this year, because we can't have large groups congregating, we will have students head in and go straight to their classrooms. Doors will open up at 7:15. We ask that students please not arrive before that time unless absolutely necessary to avoid that crowding. But then as you come in, before entering the building, of course, you're going to need your mask. I know that'll take some getting used to for you and me both, but we'll all be using our mask, as well as we'll be taking temperatures at the door. It'll just take a couple of quick seconds. I'll go like so, and I am well and ready to go. Under 100.4 is our benchmark. So we'll have spots marked out, whereas students are lining up. We'll keep the social distancing to the max extent possible, keep everybody safe, and get them in the building. You'll be able to pick up breakfast if you were eating breakfast, and you'll take that straight into your classroom. And there'll be teachers and paraprofessionals available to watch the students, so we'll be glad to greet you there in the morning, but all of that will happen inside of your classroom. So a little time to get ready for the day, eat breakfast, maybe chat with friends, work on some homework, maybe read a book. Will be a nice time to get started with your day. All right, good for parents also to know the door that they will enter in if they are needing to come in to visit, to drop something off, is going to be door number 1. That's the main entrance to Madison and Reagan, there by the big flagpole. There's also visitor parking out there. One thing that's hard for me as a principal, I think, going into this year is I've always encouraged parents to come in, want them to be involved in their child's education. With some of the things related to COVID-19, it is going to be necessary to restrict access to the building. So whenever you can drop something off without having to come further into the building, we're going to ask that you do that. Of course, for adults, the same as students, we're going to be wearing our mask as well as doing temperature checks if we would need to come in for a meeting or access the building in some other kind of a way. But if you need to pick up your child, drop something off, we're going to do as much of that there at that main door and bring that to you as we can to lower exposure as much as we can. But do want parents to know that is our main visitor entrance. We need to check in, have ID, as well as our mask and our temperature check. All right, next thing I wanted to show you was the inside of one of your classrooms. I'm excited to have kids back in those classrooms. You will notice it'll look a little different than what you're used to. In order to get as many students in as possible while keeping that social distance, a lot of things have been taken out of the rooms. They'll still be accessible to teachers, what they need to do their job of teaching, but we want to have as much space for the students as possible. So this is an example of what a typical room might look like with our desks spaced at least 6 feet apart. The space for students. Um, um, Also, lunches are going to happen in there in addition to breakfast, and we're going to bring as many things into your classroom as possible. And again, that's going to limit that exposure. There'll still be breaks, outside for PE. There'll be breaks outside for recess and things like that with your teacher. But mainly, classrooms I think are even going to be more self-contained than what they have been in the past. To where a lot of those places where we might have been going in the past, as far as music, library, lunches, we're going to bring as many of those things to you as we possibly can, and definitely continue to try and build good community there while we're also following the guidelines set down by the health department to keep us all safe and healthy, and coming here to school is definitely the goal. Next thing to show you, just a couple of office areas. First, our main office. You can always come here if you need help. Something else along those lines, outside of the school day when you're not with your teacher, we are there to help. Miss Jessica, Miss Brandy in there as well as myself. And then our nurse's office as well. Many times the nurse might be coming to you this year rather than you going to the nurse, so that might be a change, but that is another helper and area that we have there to assist students. Another quick area I just wanted to show to students and parents is our social work office. Mrs. Spinden, often works in there with small groups or individual students. That can be a great social emotional support to students. When you're having different difficulties and things like that, that can be a support to you. Also just even learning those skills, just like we learn to get better at math and reading, we can learn to get better at things like expressing our emotions, using calming strategies, using coping strategies. Those are things that are so foundational to our success, and we are really glad to have that support available in the schools too. So also wanted to show you heading down a hall to Mrs. Spinden's office as well as another support you might access. Also want to show you our gym. We will have PE daily. While the weather is nice, we're hoping that can be outside as much as possible, kind of give students a break from their mass and get some activity in. So PE will be 30 minutes per day. We'll also have a chance to interact with another class in there. We'll have 2 classes in there at a time. So very excited to have you there with Mrs. Bond and Mr. Thorpe. I think it will be different, but always I've been very proud of our PE program, that there's so many diverse things that they do: step aerobics, dance, track and field, running, so many different kinds of options that I think are still going to be available to students to be able to get moving and learn some of those lifelong fitness skills. So great part of the day as well, coming into the gym, getting outside. Hope you will really enjoy it. Also wanted to point out to parents and students many of the supports we have for when students struggle academically. A main one is coming into Title I with Mrs. Mitchell or Mrs. Kelly, needing help with reading or math, but many students are going out for a variety of things, whether that's help with reading and math with Mrs. Mitchell and Mrs. Kelly, could be with Mr. Tenbor, Miss Goff, have many great resources available to students needing some extra academic help, to where not only your teacher will be a main way, but also some of our support teachers too do so many things to make sure that you are successful, and whether that is speech, whether that's Title I, whether that's going to the resource room. All of our students need supports in different areas, so our job is to continue to see where you need some extra help or some extra support and make sure that you get what you need. So very proud of all of our teachers who continue to look at ways that they can make sure every student has that opportunity to succeed. And the last place I wanted to show you, similar to many of our elementary buildings, we have a sensory room. Now, this is not visited by all of our students, but some students, in the way that they learn and the way that their brains work, can need some specific kinds of movement or some specific kinds of breaks in order to get ready for learning. So this is a space that they can also utilize and can be a learning tool for our students who need that. So I'm grateful for that, and also our occupational therapist, Mrs. Cashman, coming in and continuing to work with students on those skills. I mean, that can be a great thing for students who need that support, keeping that consistent person from Jefferson to Madison and making sure they still have access to all of the supports that they need. So again, grateful to also have that area to be able to offer students here in the building. Again, can't wait to welcome you, see you in person here at Madison School. I know our fifth graders coming back are already an awesome bunch. Looking forward to getting to know our fourth graders coming in. They're going to learn all about being Madison ready, being Madison safe, being Madison kind, and being ready to go to have an awesome school year. Our school is only as good as our students. And I think with knowing our students from last year and the excitement I have about our students from this year, I think we will be a great, great school indeed. Thanks so much for watching. Again, if there's anything I can do to help coming in this year, do not hesitate to ask and cannot wait to meet you. Thank you.